I'm back. So I know I took a long break from the whole video podcasting thing, but I want to come back with a somewhat new, different idea, still a way to spend some time with you guys chatting, etc. I'm still going to talk about my yarn, my crochet. I'm still going to go over, my works in progress, my plans for the year and all that, the usual like podcasting thing. But I want to also tell you guys about the books I'm reading. So the first book we're going to go over is going to be The Family Experiment. So there's going to be a part of this podcast where we are just hanging out. We're just crocheting together and I tell you about the book. Then other parts, I'm going to be telling you about the finished objects I have for the month, what I have coming up in testing, like this new cardigan, and the plans that I have in general. So just time for us to hang out, okay? There's no pressure here, just us chilling. All right, so first thing, this. I'm making a shawl. It's not right. So this is getting frog while we're chatting today. I don't know why. This is the third time. And I keep going with it, expecting for it to fix itself, knowing that's not going to fix itself. I keep thinking that I can fix this in blocking, but deep down, I know it's not going to come out exactly the way I want. So I'm just going to frog it and start over while we're chatting. All right. So it's getting a lot warmer in here than I thought it would be. I'm going to take this off. I'm still looking for testers for it. The goal is that I can get testers for the larger sizes. So the testing period already started, but I do have spots open for anybody who wants to test it, especially the larger sizes, so that I can make sure like my math was correct. I know it already went through my tech editor and everything, but I still want my audience to be able to see it on every body type. So it's still there. It's 9 sizes. So there is plenty of spots open for you guys to join and test this. My goal is to be able to release it early spring. So March, that's when I want to release it. But if you do make it after the release date, you purchase the pattern and you make it and you find anything that you want to share with me, notes, etc. If you paid for the PDF, I'm going to refund that to you. If you did not pay for the PDF, because it's also going to be available for free on my blog, then you can share the notes and I can give you access to one of my other paid patterns PDF for free. So these are the options I'm offering for you guys to be able to make this beauty and be compensated for your time. I want to show you guys this little cardigan that I finished. So it's a free pattern that I followed. I don't remember who the designer was, but I'll put it up here so you guys can have all the information. I loosely followed this pattern. When I say loosely, I mean very loosely. I did not meet gauge. I didn't try to meet gauge for it. I just made sure the measurements were there. So I know I wanted to make it for a 1-year-old, so I made sure that it would still fit within the measurements of a 1-year-old that the pattern showed. So I used 2 skeins for this one. I used a mini skein from Serendipitous Wool Co. Shoba, and I used another skein of fingering weight that I had from Onyx Fiber. Audria, she doesn't dye anymore, but I'll still put it up here so you guys can see and check out her page. She is on a long break because of some health issues, just in case she comes back and you guys want to support her. I'll put her information here as well. So the small skein I used, the mini skein, was DK from Serendipitous Wool Co., like I said, and that was Ancestor's Journey. It's a beautiful little purple with it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And the large skein I used, that was fingering weight. I held it double so it still gives me like somewhat of a DK. That was Esme, and that's the one that's from Audria. I love the little speckles. You can see the purple in it as well. I think they both went so well together. I did not plan on putting these 2 together. The other color I was going to put with it, when I started swatching, putting it together, I just didn't like it. So I switched over to this one and I'm so happy. This is going to be a gift for my niece. Her first birthday is on the 15th of February. So I wanted to make her something special to wear on her birthday. I added, this is not part of the pattern. So I added this little heart applique on there. for her. So she can have a little pocket to put little things in there. I don't know what she's going to put in there. She's one. Well, she's about to be one. So I don't know. Snacks, other stuff. So I have this little pocket I added for there in there. Again, just because I wanted to use all the yarn that I have. For this, I did not want to have any leftovers. So once I finished the sleeves and the ribbing in the front, I still had some leftover of the Ancestors Journey. So I just decided to make a little heart applique for it. The pattern was supposed to be long sleeve. I ran out of the Esme and I knew I wouldn't have enough of this, and I couldn't find another yarn in my stash that actually really goes well with it, as these two go well together. So I just decided to make it short sleeve, modify it to do that. So there's, like I said, there's a lot of modifications I did with this. The sleeves, I added the pocket, the ribbing, I did applied ribbing versus crocheting and attaching. So there's that. I did not follow the gauge. I just followed the basic construction of it so that it can still give you the little V opening at the top. That's honestly the only thing I really followed from the pattern. But it came out beautifully. It was a free pattern, so there's nothing to complain about in it. It was well written, easy to follow. As who I am, I just decided to just do my own thing because for the love of me, I can't follow a pattern. I can't. I try, but I always end up doing my own thing at some point just to make it special. So yeah. The next one I have is a pattern I've been working on since, I want to say October or September 2022. I know I was leaving for deployment when I started this because I have pictures of me working on it from so long ago. It's 2025. So I started this. I know it was 2022. I started it. I finished it in 2023. I did not have my tech editor go through it yet. And I did, just life was happening. A lot was happening. Like I said, I was in deployment. A lot was happening. So this wasn't priority for me to focus on at the time. This is Wakaima. It's my first yoke sweater that I've designed. It's the first color work yoke sweater that I've designed. It has a lot of things that I've learned. We have increases within the chart. So this is a whole chart and we have increasing within it. So you're going to be increasing at the top here and you're going to be increasing in the chart also. Another thing is I added short rows to this. So if you're not familiar with short rows, increasing within a chart, increasing with a yoke like pattern or sweaters, etc., like something like that, this might be a little challenge for you to take on. I don't think it would be hard for you to make if you know how to crochet already, or if you've made garments already, I should say. But I think it would be a little bit of a challenge for you, to push you to expand your skills. I do want to give my testers at least 10 weeks to make it. I want to release this in August 14th to be exact, because this is part of my IET collection, which is a 3-pattern collection. I released the first 2 patterns, which was my Dessalinian shawl. The second one was Catherine Flon, which is a finger and weight blouse, you want to say. I really like it. I love wearing it and I love how it came out. I love how the fabric is so fluffy. It has a nice drape to it. Let me say that. It has a nice drape to it. I love it. I'll link all those patterns down in the description below for you so you guys can have access to them. Some of them are available for free on my blog where you have the option to purchase the PDF. Others are just PDF only. Let me go back to this. Tester calls. I want to give my testers at least 10 weeks to finish this, and I want to release it August 14th. With that said, it's currently with my tech editor. We're finishing this week with it. And next week, I want to start, putting fillers out to see who wants to test. So if you want to test this, you can join my testers list. I'll put a link down for you guys in the description so you guys can have access to the testers list. So once I'm ready to send this out for testers, you guys can be the first people to be notified. So the next project I'm working on is another gift. Yes, I am making a lot of gifts, it seems, this year. I don't know why. I guess everybody's having babies in my family, so it makes sense. So this one is a blanket, a baby blanket for my cousin. She's having her first child in April. And I wanted to make her something that she could, like, the baby could grow with. She's one of those people in my family. Every time I've made her something, she uses it and she keeps it for so long. She takes care of it. She has a blanket I've made her over a decade ago. She still uses to go out on picnics with. And I think it's overdue for her to get that replaced, but I'm not starting on that yet. I just want to make something for the baby for now. You guys know I don't like making blankets. I don't. But for her, I'll do it. So yeah, this blanket is going to be available for free on my blog as well. And of course, I'm going to have the PDF available if you want to be able to take it on the go. All those little hexes in the body, in the middle section of the body here, are from her graffiti collection. And I'll put all the colors here so you guys can see them, because I'm not going to sit here and name all like 9 colors I use here. And this one is a graffiti radical. That's one of the first ones she used for that. She created from that collection. I can say that one because I remember it top of my head. But all the other ones are part of the same collection. As you guys can see, there's 9 colors here. But the collection is not just 9 colors. There's a lot more within that collection. Those are the ones that I had mini skeins from. And they were DK minis, about 20 grams each, that I wanted to do something with and just keep everything within the same collection. This is going to still keep growing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple more rows here with her graffiti gray well. So that's going to be a couple more rows here, a couple more rows on this side as well, because these 2 sides are repeating each other just to make the blanket a little bit larger. And the strip of hexes are going to be in the middle with all the little bubbles on them. I just love those bubbles. Look at them, guys. I just love it. I'm hoping you guys will have the pattern like around March. Also, maybe February if I'm really pushing myself and I finish this until like early enough, you guys would have the pattern in February. But if not, then I'm going to say March. Welcome to Hooked on a Plot. I'm Elizabeth, and this is the podcast where we crochet and dived into my latest read. Settle in and grab your yarn. But first, take a moment to check out the trigger warnings on your screen. I'm going to start frogging this thing that I'm mad about and start getting into the book with y'all. The novel is essentially about a dystopian world where people are not having children anymore simply because it's so expensive to have kids and be able to raise them. Life is hard, and it's based in the UK. So life is very, very hard out there for people to be able to raise kids, be able to, support their family as they should. So people are stopping having children. So if you read The One and the Marriage Act, you would know that the government has been very involved in people's life, trying to make sure that people are getting married, people are finding their significant others, people are reproducing, same thing that our governments are starting to do right now. But this is really getting into what could happen if those things don't change, or what kind of incentives the government may have for us in the future. The book revolves around a group of parents who are put together on this reality TV show, and they're trying to raise MetaBaby in the metaverse. So the MetaBabies are kind of like real babies, but they only exist in the metaverse. That's the only place they exist. So the parents have to put on these virtual reality glasses thingies and put a vest on and interact with their babies. And this is a reality TV show, like I'm saying. So once they enter the metaverse, everybody can see what they're doing. And this is live streamed 24/7. So as parents are entering and leaving the metaverse, people are voting, people are participating in it. Essentially, like it's like us watching reality TV show now, but this is about watching people raising kids. And those kids are not real kids. They act like real kids. They feel like real kids because they cry, they grow, they do all these things like the regular children do, except they only exist virtually. The goal of the reality TV show is to get the winners an opportunity to have enough money to raise or have kids in real life, or keep raising the MetaBabies? Yeah, let me break it down for you. There is 5 couple and 1 single guy that enters this reality TV show. And at the end of it, only 1 couple or the single guy can win. They get to choose. Do they want to keep raising the baby they had in the metaverse and that would be their family? Or do they use the money that they won from it to have a real life family? And at that point, the baby they had in the metaverse is deleted. If you're catching the drift here. The thing is, they cannot get that money to raise the baby until the kid is born. So it's not like they can say, oh, I'm going to take the money and buy a house and do something else after they win the show. They have to have the baby. So the money is given to them on the day the baby is born. So if you win, you have to essentially start working on producing a baby if you want that money. And the birthday of the baby, once you're sitting at the hospital, the baby came out, you're holding your little baby, that's when you get the money. Otherwise, you're not going to get the money even if you win. You cannot keep both. You cannot keep the meta baby and your real life baby. You have to choose. And these people, you're going to realize they are forming bonds with those babies. They are seeing them as their real families. So it's kind of hard for them to be able to be like, okay, I'm just going to delete this baby at the end of it or something like that. Because I know it's virtual reality and everything, but you're really raising a child. But the thing is, I need to mention this, they can choose the rate at which the kid grows. So you can say, today I'm going to have like a little baby and everything. And then tomorrow I have a toddler. And then the next day I have a teenager. So within the 9-month period that the show is running, the reality TV show is running, your baby can start from baby to be an adult. Or your baby can start being from like a baby and be 9 months. Anywhere in between that, each of the parents can choose, and they have. So some of them you're going to see that they're experiencing like the teenage years. Some of them are going through the terrible twos. Each parents are experiencing their babies through different stages. The thing is, the show is not just about raising kids, about being good parents or bad parents, or all this and that. It's about understanding people's emotion. It's about exploiting people's emotions and secrets for reality TV, like reality TV is. It's never about like really what it says it's about. It's about more drama than anything else. So you're going to see in the book, they do a lot of that. They exploit those people's secrets so that they can be able to get the ratings up, essentially. They chose these people because they already knew their secrets and they planned on having it like come to light within the TV show so that they can get more views, more rating, more interactions with their show. The show is put together by this company, the company that owns the metaverse, called Awakening Entertainment. The first person we're going to meet is Adam. Adam is essentially the person who created the whole metaverse, MetaBaby idea. He is the architect of it. He's a very big component of this book, and we're going to find out why. So the main people we're going to talk about are Autumn. She is the host of this reality TV show. We're not really going to go into her story. Just want to mention her just so that we can know who's hosting. Let's start with the order the book is introducing us to these people. So the first couple we meet is Rufus and Kitty. They are in their 20s. They're young. They are way over the head. They're like way in, like they have no idea how to raise kids. I don't know where in this show. They should not be having children yet. They need to get their life together first. Like seriously. And they have a little baby girl. Her name is Olivia. They don't stay in the book for long because they get kicked off the show very, very early on. This is the only chapter we're going to be seeing them. After that, they're out. They're gone. So Olivia is one of those babies that cries a lot, that is very melancholic. I think that's the word. So she cries a lot. And one night, Rufus was actually trying to put her to sleep, taking care of her. And she just kept crying and crying and crying, and he could not handle it. Unfortunately, he was holding her and he shook her. He shook her so hard that she got deleted from life in the metaverse. And like I said before, these are happening live for everybody to see. So everybody on the live stream actually could see this happening. And these babies, like I said, they look like real babies. They act like real babies. When you're looking at them on the TV, I'm acting like I was on the show. When you're looking at them on the TV, you see that you see another baby. That's it. You don't see like no little glitches or nothing. You see a baby. So for people to see that, it's like watching that happen in real life to a real child. So there was outrage. You know, of course, they get kicked off the show as soon as it happens. There's like camera shuts off and everything. So like I said, we're not going to get attached to them because they're gone. Unfortunately, it shows you that people should not be parents because of the pressure of it, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But it's just like they were too young and way in over the head to be able to like out here raising kids and stuff like that. But we're also going to find out that Awakening Entertainment was manipulating the babies. They can manipulate the codes to create drama. It's not just the secrets of the people they're going to use to create drama. They can change the codes of the babies so they can act differently than what the parents wanted or expected their child to be. I don't have kids. So raising children, from what I hear, is very hard. But it doesn't need to be manipulating their code for them. No. I just think it's just shitty. We're going to find out this company is trash anyway. I don't know why I'm getting my feelings about this. We're just going to find out they're trash anyway. But the next couple is Selena and Jaden. So their son into the metaverse is called Malachi. Like the first two couple, they don't stay. Well, like the first couple, not the first two couple. They don't stay long in the book because they get dropped off the show very early. Selena has trust issues, and she has a lot of reason to have trust issues. She doesn't trust her husband because he has spent their whole life saving and their IVF money on gambling. That is the reason why they went on the show, so that they can make the money. Well, Selena pushed to go on the show so that they can make the money so that she can be a mother. She really wants to be a mother. She craves experiencing like motherhood, and her husband took that away from her. Her husband, Jaden, is her DNA match. So if you read the first book, The One, you would know that in this dystopian world, they found a way to match you with somebody that's biologically supposed to be your lifelong partner, the best person for you to be with. And Jaden is that person for Selena. So she feels bad, or she feels like she can't leave him because of that, because this is the person that she's supposed to be with. And if she leaves him, she feels like also people are going to be like, well, we weren't sure about this whole like, DNA match thing anyway. Look at where it got you and this and that. You know how people gossip and run their mouth about shit that has nothing to do with them. So she sticks it around, although I don't think she should have, because of that. So Selena, she has this therapy that is sponsored by the TV show, right? So she is in the virtual world, the metaverse, and her therapist session is taken over by this mysterious man, and they hand her an envelope. Inside the envelope, there is information about these three women. Y'all see where this is going? Information about these three women that apparently have children who her husband fathered. Yes, Jaden was out there fathering children, not with his wife, no, because he was too busy spending the IVF money and their life saving on gambling and other stuff. No, he's also out there having children with other women, and not just other women who live in the same neighborhood, same area.
You're disgusting.
As them. So imagine Selena, she's walking down the street one day and she's like, bumping into somebody else who is the mother of a child that her husband fathered with them while she was married with him. It's just like, it didn't happen that way, but it's just like, as far as like them being in the same neighborhood as her, it's so easy for that to happen. It's just like so messy. I don't like him. Ugh. Anyways, she's handed this thing about the information about this dude's BS that he's been out there doing. Right? So during one of the, live interview session with Autumn, Selena goes and confronts him about it. She's like, WTF, what have you been out there doing? Now we have like 3 women with your children out there, and I'm out here trying to have your baby because we're DNA matches, because I'm supposed to love you and this and that, and you can't even give me that, but you're out there giving it to other people. Literally. And he's like, oh no, I actually was selling my sperm to women who just can't have children. Okay, so you can just give me your sperm. I'm your wife. But anyways, I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just like, I think it's just so sick and so bad that I know it happens to other people, like real life people. Like, this is somebody's real life experience. And so, yeah, like I'm saying, he's saying that. So, like I said, he's talking about how he was just selling his sperm. But no, he's not just selling his sperm. This dude, this messy ass dude, it's not like he's going down to the sperm bank and being able to, get it done in a cup. No, he is actually doing it in the physical manner with these women to produce those children. So, and as we all know, it's not going to happen the first time. Most of the time, it's not like boom, 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 it happens and now you're pregnant. No, sometimes it takes multiple sessions for a child to be created. So he goes and says that this is what he's doing and blah, blah, blah. So during this live interview, Jaden just drops off, right? Like, his avatar just drops off the show. And Selena takes off her headset and to find out that Jaden has been deleted from real life. And he's been deleted from real life by one of the women that he was having an affair with. And this woman, like, who deleted Jaden from life, she lost her baby at the beginning of the process. And when she reached out again to Jaden, Jaden refused to try again with her. So she essentially got disconnected from reality in her depressive state. And she thought that Jaden had taken the child that she was growing and lost, and given it to Selena, and that essentially that Malachi was the baby. So that's why she tried to get him within that show and deleted Jaden from life. Jaden from real life is deleted. He is no more. So yeah. Later on, we found out like they did a whole investigation and they caught the lady who deleted Jaden from life. And Selena, like, it was a lot happening for her. You discovered that your husband had affairs with multiple women that was living not that far from you. You discovered that he was, it happened essentially in front of you, with you in the same room as him when he was deleted from life by one of the women that he was having an affair with. So she made the choice to leave the show. So Malachi was deleted. She left the show, and that's the last we've seen of her. Later on in the book, we find out that she actually had her baby, a real life baby, and figured out how to raise that baby alongside the other kids that Jaden had fathered. They created essentially a community to help raise the kid. So, I mean, there's a good ending to her story, no matter how bad it is. So yeah, I started this whole shawl over again. I think I'm going to increase more on the outside and more in the middle, just so that I can lift that, because it was going this way. I don't know, weirdly. So it was not giving me a real, I don't know what that is. It was not giving me a real triangle. So I'm going to increase more on the outside and increase more on the inside, and we're going to go from there. I don't know why I pushed myself to go so far into it when I knew from like the third row it wasn't going to work out. I have commitment issues, not bad commitment issues, obviously, because I stay on and try to make it work when I know it's not gonna work. Anyway. So the next couple now we're introduced to is Woody and Tina. I didn't like them. I really did not like that couple. They were not. Well, let me just say, it's not like they weren't. Well, they were not good people. Either of them. Like, they were not good people. Their daughter in the metaverse is named Belle. And early on, as like we're introduced to them, we're finding out that they have a pretty bad secret because they just moved to this house 7 years ago. They had to leave the house, like the city, whatever they were living in before, because they needed somewhere that's more suitable for their lifestyle. What does that mean? Suitable. What was so bad about where you lived before that you need to find somewhere more suitable to move to?
That's suspicious. That's weird.
They moved to this place, and their daughter in the metaverse, like I said, her name is Bill, and they are good parents to Bill as far as like the metaverse is. At least Tina is. Like, she's like good parents to Bill. They take care of her. They're doing stuff for her. They cook together as a family. Like mother-daughter cooking time into the virtual reality, like the metaverse and stuff like that. People are liking them. They are good contenders. They're a likable couple. This is great. This is what I needed the first time. Why didn't I do that before? What is wrong with me? As we read on, we find out that they have, Tina and Woody, they have another daughter, a real life daughter, a living, breathing daughter named Easy. And the thing about Easy is that she is locked up in their basement. I'm not even kidding. She is locked up in the basement, and it's based on an arrangement that they have with law enforcement. So instead of sending Easy to jail, prison, they wanted her to be at home. So they lock her up in the basement. So she has to stay locked up in there until she's 18, until she's a legal adult. And she also has like a tracker so that they can make sure that she doesn't violate those terms, like an ankle monitor, essentially. So they're making sure that she's not violating the term of the agreement that she stays in home with her family. The thing we learn about Easy is that she demonstrated a lot of the psychopathic, manipulative traits very early on, like in her childhood. She was manipulating her parents into doing things. She was manipulating her friends, her family and stuff, like, and it was not even doing little things. It was like some major things. We find out that Easy was put into this situation because she was accused, she was found to be the one who unalived one of her schoolmates. And she was found over the person as the person was no longer breathing. And she was the one who was, I'm trying to find words. I'm trying to find the words because if I get to the point where my channel is monetized, I want this video to stay up, okay? I'm trying to find the right words here. So hang on with me, okay? Like I said, she was found over that other child. The relationship between Tina and Easy is very strained. They don't get along very much. She doesn't, Tina, she doesn't know how to talk to her, how to, care for her. She is very distant, emotionally detached. A lot of the time, like, she is wishing that Belle was her real life child more than Easy. And we're going to even realize that she copied both of them. It's not only her. Both of them, Woody and Tina, they essentially took Easy as far as looks and everything, and then copy pasted and created Belle. It's like they're trying to be better parents or have a do-over with Belle. Like, maybe if we do X, Y, and Z, maybe if we blah, 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 our child would be better. So they're using Belle. Well, they're using both kids, essentially. They're using Belle as a way for them to be better parents or to have like a better, I don't fucking know. I don't know. It's just, anyway. Yeah. I don't know. Woody is the one who essentially pressured Tina into having EC stay with them because he's more into like, hey, let's do this. She's our daughter and da da da. Let's take care of this. Let's take care of her. Like I said, Tina, she's like I feel like she washed her hand a long time ago of EC. She does not. If it was for her, she would not be in the house. If it was for her, she felt like she wouldn't have lost the life that she had at the other place. So she is essentially trying to still be a mother, but not a caring one, if you know what I mean. So one day while she is going, easy that is going upstairs, and she hears her mom talking to someone. And the way her mom is interacting, it feels like you're interacting with a child. You know how like people that have that different voice, different attitude when they're speaking to a child versus to another adult. So she hears that and she's like, okay, who the hell is this lady talking to? And that's when she finds that her parents are, playing house with Belle, with this new child that they have in the metaverse. I mean, I would be pissed too. Like, you locked me up in the basement. Yes, it's my fault because of all the stuff I did. But you have another child that you didn't even bother telling me about. Like, you're playing house with this kid. You're doing all the things that I wish you would do with me as a parent. Like, you're baking, you're spending time, like, reading stories and stuff like that. You're not, like, essentially, this is your do-over. And I'm just, like, background noise until I turn 18. Guys, this is what I want. I swear to God. Why don't I listen to myself the first or second or third time? Like, this is it. Look at this. This is so cute. This is so tiny. With all that, EC decides like she's gonna steal their headsets and go into the metaverse so that she can meet essentially her sister. And that's when she finds that Belle is like a replica of her. As far as look is concerned, she is looking into a mirror. So while Tina is at work, one of her coworkers tell her, "Hey, I just saw your avatar on the show. How is it that you're here and your avatar is on?" So that's when Tina realized, like, oh, shit, EC probably found my stuff and broke into there. So she is rushing home trying to save the situation, trying to save her daughter from her daughter. So Tina goes home. She is trying to tell EC, like, hey, you need to leave the metaverse and stuff like that, like talking to her and us, but she's refusing to leave. She's not going anywhere. Like, easy that is. She is not going anywhere. And what happens next is Tina watches using the other headset. She is watching herself, Easy, because Easy is showing up to the viewers as Tina. She's not like, she doesn't have her own avatar on. She is showing up as her mother. She watches as everybody else is watching as well, as Easy is like really trying to hurt Belle. She's like, hey, we don't like you, disappointed us. You're like, you're a disappointment as a kid. I should have kept the other one better because you are no better, this and blah, blah, blah. Getting in her feelings, like breaking little Belle's heart. And she goes and strangles her as everybody's watching. Like, and whew, Belle essentially gets deleted from the metaverse. So in real life, Tina, she does not like, she's not facing any legal actions because avatars are not real people. So they cannot prosecute her for that, essentially. But Belle also, not Belle, EC, also she cut off her ankle monitor and fled. So they don't know where she's at. They just know that she's no longer in the house. She's no longer can be found. She doesn't want to be found by them or by the popo.
So editing Elizabeth here, I realized that I did not finish Tina and Woody's story. I just told you guys about when Belle disappeared. What I forgot to say is that we found out later on that Woody, the dad, was so protective of EC because of a little secret they shared. So essentially, remember what I said EC was like put into the basement for, and she was under house arrest until she turned 18, and the dad was very much pushing for it for her to be living with him. It's because of guilt. when he found out that when he found her over that other kid's body, the kid was not fully deleted from life. The dad actually picked up a rock and finished the work. So he essentially still told the police that, hey, his daughter did it and all that. He threw her under the bus. So he kept it a secret. Nobody knew. The mom, Tina, didn't know. Easy knew essentially that, hey, I didn't finish the work. But that was essentially their dirty little secret. So she was still manipulating him to get what she wanted from it. But she hated the fact that she was still locked up because the dad knew what happened. The dad was complicit in it. And he's essentially the one that finished the crime, but he is not getting any punishments from it. And I think that's what makes her so much angrier, that they are playing house with Bill when he's not getting any consequences for his actions. You know what I mean?
This is really messed up.
Unfortunately, they are showing traits and characteristics that a lot of real life couple human beings are experiencing, which is horrendous. I don't know, man. I don't get it. This is much better. We're excited. I love this color. Can you imagine it? Look at this. Against my skin, this is gorgeous. At the end of this, I'm gonna show you the other yarn I'm gonna put with this. We're gonna talk a lot more about this at the end. I'm excited. Now we are introduced to the next couple, Kadem and Gabriel. They are a same-sex couple. They've been together for 7 years, and their daughter's name is River. Kadem is not a very likable person. He is a social media influencer, and Gabriel is his boyfriend. That's it. That's all Kadem wants people to know about, like, Gabriel. That's his boyfriend. He's 10 years younger. And Kadem is going to make sure that we know, and everybody knows, the only reason he's dating Gabriel is because he's 10 years younger. He purposely wanted to date younger people because he feels like they have not experienced life yet, and they can be easily manipulated to be the person that he wants them to be, to rely on him, and so that they can always be at his disposal. Like, he does not want his partner to have goals and dreams or anything. The only thing they should want in life is to be able to support him and worship him. He's essentially, he's not afraid to admit it, that Gabriel to him is just a prop. That's it. He's just here to look good in his arm. That's it. So within the reality TV show, Gabriel and Kadem are raising River together. And it's just, as a true influencer, what Kadem does is he uses every single moment that they have together as a family to get brand deals. So if River gets her first steps, Kadem uses that as a way to be able to get brand deals. Oh, we can get brands with this, blah, deal with this brand, blah, blah, blah. Let's share this, let's share that. Let's show them this, let's do that. Just for him, everything about raising this child, it's just about, where can I make money? How can I make money? While Gabriel is more about, I want to be a dad. I want to be, experience this. And I want to experience it with my partner. And it's just, I don't know. That couple, they frustrated me. Kadem frustrated me. And I felt bad for Gabriel, because he wanted like a real family, and he knew deep down that he could not get it with this person that he was dating. But he wanted to try to make it work because that's what he had at the moment. You know what I mean? So as we read on, we're going to find out that Gabriel and Kadem, they were very, very rich at some point, but they had to sell everything they owned in the real world. And it's because Gabriel got to a point where he had an addiction, essentially. Well, it was an addiction, not essentially. It became to the point where he stopped trying to be, he got tired of being like in Tatum's shadow and trying to always please him, that he could not do anything for himself, that he went to a party one night, met these people, they gave him this substance. Tatum didn't like that because he started getting more popular. He started getting other people's attention and stuff like that. To Tatum, it's just like, you're not here to look good. You're not here to do anything but to look like my sugar, my arm candy. So he did not enjoy that at all. So, like I said, he got addicted to this substance and he leaves Tatum essentially. A few months later, he comes back and checks himself into a rehab center where Tatum was supporting it and blah, 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 and all this stuff. Comes to find out that Gabriel had a brain tumor and his insurance was not able to cover the cost of it. It's not like his insurance wasn't able to cover the cost of it. The insurance company does what insurance companies do. They did not cover the cost of. The reasoning they're using for that is because of the addiction that Gabriel had. So they're using that as like pre-existing conditions, whatever they call it, so that they don't cover saving his life. Kaden took the money that he had and covered everything that he needed for Gabriel needed for his treatment. That's how they actually lost a lot of the money that they had. And it became this kind of relationship where Kaden kind of resents Gabriel for it, but he also is using it as a way to keep his little fucking claws on him. While Gabriel is like staying with him because he feels very trapped in this relationship. Like, hey, he saved my life. He spent all his life saving on me and blah, blah, blah. The least I can do is spend the rest of my life with this man. Even with knowing all this, I still didn't like Hayden because everything he does in the book is about himself. Like I said, he was using everything with River to get brain deals. He even like pushed Gabriel to reveal the fact that he had like the brain tumor on the show so that he can get more votes. Like, he uses everybody's pain, everybody's life, or everything just for him to gain votes, money, and that's all he wants in life. That's all he cares about. He doesn't care about who he's hurting, how he's hurting them. As long as he gets what he wants at the end, he's gonna do it. Anyway, so he pushes him, like I said, to reveal that he had the brain tumor. And with that also came a lot of the story about Gabriel's addiction. So Gabriel had to sit down and voluntarily tell their daughter, River, about his addiction because he did not want her to be influenced or be able to know about these things because she's still a kid. At this point, she's a teenager. Like I said, in the 9 months, they can change the growth rate of the kid. So not everybody in 9 months is going to still have like a baby. Some of them are going to have teenagers. Some of them are going to have adults. Some of them are going to have like toddlers. Keep that in mind as we go along. Yeah. So he tells River about it. And later on, we find out that River is caught in school because they go to school. They have like normal life as kids, even if they're in the metaverse. Is caught in school giving the patch that Gabriel was addicted to one of the kids, and the kids actually gets deleted from the metaverse because of it, because it was another meta kid. Like, remember with Tina and Woody, how Tina could not be held responsible because of what happened in the metaverse because of Belle's deletion? It doesn't apply if it is two individuals that are part of the metaverse. So with River being a meta baby and the kid that got deleted, that she gave the patch to that got deleted, is also a meta baby, there are consequences with that. And with it, it comes like down to the company, Awakening Entertainment, to decide what the punishment would essentially be. And they decided that they are going to go and delete River. That's the punishment for them, because River gave the patch to the kid passes away, then River gets deleted as well. I don't know why I said River or River like that so many times. It's very heartbreaking because Gabriel was really a great dad. Like, he was amazing with River. He really was involved with it, and it felt like he was losing his child. Like, he was losing a lot. It was a very, very heartbreaking section of the book. After River got deleted, Gabriel like fell into a very, very deep depression until a mysterious man. Like, there's a lot of mysterious men popping up in this, right? Until a mysterious man shows up to tell him that his boyfriend, Kadam, paid for River to be set up. Just in case you're not following here, Kadam is Gabriel's partner. They are a couple. Their daughter in the metaverse is River. River gets deleted because of what she did. Gabriel falls into a depression. Gabriel comes to find out that Kadam is the one that set up their daughter to be deleted.
I thought I smelled trash.
That's what I'm telling you. I do not like this dude at all. There is nothing likable about Kadam. I feel like even helping Gabriel with his medical stuff was just manipulation. It was nothing like out of goodness of his heart or love or anything of that sort. It was just manipulation. So that's where the book leaves Kadam and Gabriel's story for now. Like, towards the end, I'll give you guys a little catch up, I guess, of what happened with them once their story ended on the TV show. Now we're getting introduced to Dimitri and Zoe, the next couple, whose son in the metaverse is named Lenny. They have a little bit of like a scandal in the background because it's not really a scandal. When you're first reading it, you're just going to be sad because they had a son before and his name was Adam. And what happened is Adam disappeared when he was younger. It was a very devastating moment for for the couple in their life. So now they're like raising Lenny in the metaverse. They're trying again to to do the best that they can do. Dimitri is not really involved with Lenny. He's not really into this whole like let's try to be parents again. While Zoe is very into like, hey, this is our second chance at this. Let's do the best we can and this and that. So they are very detached and not on the same page as far as raising another kid. I honestly believe that they're both still grieving Adam in their own way. They're just existing in the same spaces, grieving separately, trying to move on with life when there is still so much that they should be discussing with each other. So much. Like I said, they're both still grieving, but Zoe seems to be grieving a lot harder for Adam because she'll call Lenny Adams a few times in the metaverse. Like they'll be talking, doing stuff, and she's like, Adam, da 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 da. And it's just like, it shows that she is still like not over the loss of her son, even after all those years. She even keeps like a lifelike doll of Adam in her attic. Her husband, Dimitri, doesn't know about that doll up there. But she sneaks up from time to time, sit down, dresses it, feeds it, plays with it. And it's odd because she knows that it's not Adam. She knows that. She'll say that she knows that it's not him. When we are taken through a flashback to show us exactly what happened from their perspective with Adam. So they were at this they were there and Adam disappeared. And they called emergency services, they went, they did the search, they did everything, but just could not find Adam. And it's odd because they could find everything else except a body or anything that even shows that Adam was there with them on that day. There was no indication that they came to this place with their son that they are reporting is currently missing. They even went as far as later on they did a search of the space again, the same space that they were searching, and they found his jacket. But even a lot of people who looked into the situation years later, they think that there is something like finicky, something wrong with the situation, because how they found the jacket, it does not make sense. Anyway, so we're coming back to the present time, okay? And we find out that Dimitri threw away Adam's clothes because he found the clothes and stuff like that. He threw them away because he didn't know his wife was keeping them to put on the lifelike doll. He just threw them away because he felt like, hey, it's time for us to move on. We have Lenny and this and that. I'm going to clean out our garage and get rid of them. Zoe lost it, and that's how Dimitri finds out about the doll in the attic. He's trying to understand, but he can't understand what's going on. They are finally trying to face, their situation, the grief that they're both feeling, and the fact that their marriage is not what it used to be. So they're chatting, they're figuring things out, and they receive a package in the mail. So in that package is the clothes that they threw away with the lifelike doll. Oh, yeah, Dimitri threw away the doll also. That's how she finally told him, hey, this was in there and you threw it away. So I just want to put that in there. Like I was saying, they received the package and it's the clothes with the doll in there, but something's different with it. The doll can speak in Adam's voice, their son, that went missing and declared unalive years ago. That's where the book leaves us with the Dimitri and Zoe story for now. Like, they get the doll back and it has their missing, presumably dead son's voice. So now we jump into the story of Hudson, the single dad. He's 22, pretty young, but the show, I feel like, added him so that they can show that single parents can still provide as much love like a two-parent household. His daughter's name is Alice, and they are a good pair. He is a great dad. I'm going to say it. He is, between him and Gabriel, they are up there as far as the parents in this book. They are up there. He is a great dad to Alice. He does everything with her. He teaches her stuff. He reads to her as she's like going to sleep and stuff like that. He is enjoying the process of being. As we come to find out that Hudson is not just Hudson. There is more to his story. There's more to everybody's story as we see in this book, right? So there is more to his story. Remember when I said their son Adam went missing, like Dimitri and Zoe's son? He went missing but was never found, and there was some discrepancies in their story, right? Well, we come to find out that they did not lose their son. It's not like they lost their son. They can't misplace a child. So the child was not missing. They knew what happened to Adam. What they did is they could not raise Adam anymore. They could not afford to do so because of financial situation and a lot of things happening. So they found out about this place or company where they can take the child in and give the parents some money for it. So essentially, they are trafficking their son. They traffic their son. And so what they did is one night, they gave him the serum that erases memory. So he does not remember his family, who his parents are, and where he's coming from, anything. So everything in his mind is gone. Okay? And then they go and give him to these people who are supposed to be taking him to a family that's going to be taking care of him. And they get their money. And then they set up this whole thing where they're like, oh, our son is missing, blah, 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 and stuff like that. Trying to get like PD and stuff like that. Just so that they can find a way to explain why they no longer had a child around. Okay? Well, Hudson was also one of those kids that was trafficked, but differently for Hudson. Hudson was an orphan and he just could not survive out in the streets anymore. So he heard about the same thing that the parents, Dimitri and Zoe, heard about. He heard about this place where kids are taken care of. They can go find families and stuff like that, but somebody has to send you. So Hudson decides that he's going to try to get himself a better future by putting himself in that situation. So when he gets there to the location that they're supposed to meet the kids and stuff like that, he realized that it's not what he thought it was. in reality, it's like more of a trafficking, and there's nothing good is gonna come out of it. But too late, they put all the kids on this boat to this place called Amrat, right? So he meets this kid there. His name is Adam. But he doesn't know that his name is Adam because remember, they gave him the serum that erased his memory. The kid, Adam, is wearing a sweater from New York. And he's like, okay, since you can't remember who your name is or anything about yourself, I'm going to call you Hudson because, you know, New York, Hudson River and stuff like that. So that's how he named Adam Hudson. Now that we have this out of the way, the boat capsized and he's trying to save Adam and stuff. And Adam drowns and blah, blah, blah. They get on the, I'm not saying blah, blah, blah like it's not a sad thing. It is. But Adam's drowning. So he decides that he's going to take Adam's tag. So Hudson essentially becomes Adam in this book. Are you following?
Absolutely not.
Adam gets trafficked by his parents, Dimitri and Zoe, right? They erase his memory. Hudson is this other kid, orphan, who does not have a family, right? He goes and tries to find a better life for him because he hears about this place that he can get taken care of. He goes there and meets Adam. They're chatting and stuff, trying to get like on their way to the boat. Then he realizes the boat capsizes. Adam passes away. He takes Adam's identity so that he can still continue on the journey. Okay? They left Adam's body on the shore. They didn't take him. You know, these people, it's not like these people have morals or anything, so they just left him there. So we go into learning more about Hudson's life on Aratha and all of this. I'm not going to go into the details of it because there was nothing good that happened in that place. To be honest, it was just shitty and shady and shitty. But what I will tell you is that that place has a big connection with Awakening Entertainment. And what Awakening Entertainment essentially uses the place for is to use those children that are trafficked to teach AI basic emotions like fear, loss, grief, happiness, sadness, and all those things like human emotions. So they're using those children as blueprints for AI learning. So it's really, really bad place. Like if you read the book, you'll get into that section and you're just like, oh my God, this is horrible. It's bad. I'm not going to go much into it. That's all I'm going to say about it, to be honest. Anyway, so Hudson, like I said, he's a great dad to Alice and stuff. All the people at the beginning was like, oh, why is he a single dad and he wants to have a daughter and this and that. They found it weird, but he became one of the contenders, like the high-ranking people in the show very, very fast. And like the public really loved him. I loved him as like a dad in the book. He was great. Amazing. But to us as like the readers, it becomes very clear that there is more to Hudson than wanting to be on the show just so he can have a kid. There is like an ulterior motive for him to join that specific show. At this point, they are the finalists of the show, right? So the company, they decide to do the finale as a live show. And Hudson decides to drop a bomb on us. And he's like, hey, I know you too. I know Dimitri and Zoe. And they're both like, we don't know you. Why you mean you know us? We've never met you in our life. So how would you know us? So he tells everybody that Dimitri and Zoe are not who they appear to be. They sold their son Adam. He did not go missing. And that they actually, set up the whole thing, disappearance thing, so that they can garner like public sympathy and trying to cover up essentially what they did. So he tells that live on TV. And remember how I told you about like the whole jacket thing that people were like, okay, this is weird. That's because Dimitri went back later on to plant Adam's jacket for when they search again for the area. Yeah. He knows like, oh, so is Hudson Adam? So it comes out to be that Zoe was driving one night, right? And she hit these two people riding bicycles. She killed the son, and then the father is paralyzed. So to avoid going to jail and all that, they decided that they're going to pay to keep the father alive and his spouse alive until they pass away. They're going to keep paying half of a wage to them, so they could no longer afford paying their own mortgage, afford taking care of Adam and all that. So that's her explanation for them making that decision with Adam, right? And we come to also find out that the father that Zoe hit, who is paralyzed, remember when I said that on the island they use those kids to essentially teach AI emotions and stuff? How they do it is they'll have people who are grieving, people who just need companionship, come into the metaverse and talk to AI. They think they're talking to an AI, but in actuality, they're talking to one of the kids on the island. And they're using that as a way to train the AI, as they're also using the kids to, help those people in some way. And one of the people that Hudson had to talk to was the cyclist whose son passed away. His name was Charles. And one day we come to find out that Hudson logged in to help Charles, and he realized that he was no longer there. His avatar no longer existed. And come to find out in real life that Charles was so grief stricken and he just could not get the help that he needed. He took his own. Yeah. So in light of this, Adam decides Dimitri and Zoe are gonna be kicked off the show. They are no longer part of Fabulous because it violated the terms of the TV shows, which would make Hudson the winner of the show. Remember, like I said in the beginning, that if they win, they can keep the money and have like a real life kid, at which point the money would be given to them on the birthday of that child. Or they can keep whatever funds they had left over from like the gain on the show and stuff like that, and keep their meta child and still, raise them as their kid and not have to have a kid in real life as well. And if they choose to take the money, the meta child is deleted. To the shock of everyone, Hudson decides that he is not going to take either options. He's not going to take the money so that he can have a real life kid, and he's not going to raise Alice anymore. He's just going to delete her. And it was a very sad portion of the book. Like, because you can tell that they've had that conversation with before, him and Alice, and she understood where her father was coming from, and they hugged, and it was sad, and he pressed the button and deleted her.
Hey guys, it's me again, Editing Elizabeth, and I want you guys to have the full story, but I don't know what happened to this portion of the video, so here we go. So we fast forward a year and we meet this guy at the beach. His name is Leo. And we find out that Leo is Hudson. That's his real name, right? And he's talking to this guy named Kane. So he met Kane on the island and they were not friends because he actually got Kane into trouble. And that's how Kane got kicked off the island. But the way the company worked, it's not like he just get kicked off the island. He just moves up to a different place in the company, within the island or outside of the island, to still do different things for them, because these are traffic kids. They can't just be having them roaming around like that until they brainwash them to the level that they need. So Kane and Hudson are talking, and we find out that there are the two that devised the plan for Hudson to go on the show, where he is going to essentially play a double agent and try to take Awakening Entertainment down. Awakening Entertainment put Hudson on the show because they know that he's going to work for them, and because he's one of the kids from the island, right? Their goal is that they're making sure that he doesn't get paid. They don't have to actually put out that money. They don't care if he keeps Alice or not. They don't care about all that. They're just caring about the bottom line of it all. And with all that, Hudson goes on the show and does what he set out to do. He just puts out everybody's business. He exposed Awakening Entertainment for what it is. He puts out the fact that they are the one who actually frame Kadam and Gabriel. We find out that it was Awakening Entertainment trying to create more drama and trying to remove some people from the show by sharing that information with them secretively so that they can keep getting everything that they want from it without having to pay for any baby to be raised. Even after finding all that, Gabriel did not go back to Kadam, which is great. He got out of that toxic relationship. He's made his own life. He's actually started a company that's helping those missing kids from Arada. And he's doing all that with the support of Adam. We don't see Adam. Nobody actually meets Adam. They just know that he's there and doing all those things.
Dimitri and Zoe, nothing happened to them. They did not get prosecuted. Is that the word? Yeah. For their actions, because after the show they retracted their confession, and somebody like tried, a lot of people tried to burn their house, so they are now living in a safe house and, you know what, using more government money. At the end of this all, we meet a different character, Mateo, and he is essentially Adam. So we find out that Adam did not, when they left his body on the island, he did not get died. This family found him, raised him, and when the show aired and all the drama happened, they showed it to him. So now he knows who his family is, but he does not want to put the family that raised them and like get them in trouble. So he chose to never come forward with the information that he is still alive. And it's essentially Dimitri and Zoe are crappy people. So there is no reason for him to try to save them or anything of that matter. So he just like, hey, I'm gonna keep living my life and do my own thing. So we know that Adam, Mateo, is actually still alive. This is a proper show. Look at this. This is how far we've gotten. Like I said, I frogged most of it. I frogged all of this while we started the story. And now we're working on doing it again. I'm happy with the little progress I made. So this is the yarn I'm going to use with this to finish the shawl. So this is going to do a leaf pattern. I don't know or if you remember my In the Forest of the Night cardi. I'll put a picture of it here so you guys can see it. This is going to have that same leaf motif. I'm going to have it at the bottom of this with that. So look at this. That yarn is from Serendipitous Wool. It's gorgeous. This is called AA. I believe it was part of her Yarn Journey book club that she had with Birch Hollow Fibers. I think it's perfect for spring because this shawl is going to be a very light spring pattern. And it's fingering weight. Both of them are fingering weight. This is her 2-ply fingering weight, and this is regular fingering weight that she has. This is 100% superwash merino wool. I love it. The other one is 20% nylon and 80% superwash merino. So now I have to go grab my laptop because just so I can go over my bingo card. So that's my plan for 2025, essentially. I'll put it on the screen as well so you guys can see it as I'm talking about it. I'm not going to go over everything in there. The main things I'm going to talk about is the things I've done so far and the things I plan on doing in the next month. The first thing I have on there is make something just for me. I know a couple of years ago I used Rachel from Fly Dye Yarn, one of her one-of-a-kind yarns. That's all she dyes. She dyes one-of-a-kind yarns. And I used it to make me a top. And I loved it so much, but I never wrote the pattern for it. And I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed making something. No pattern written. Didn't follow anybody else's pattern. Just for me. And I have a lot of yarn here. And I think it's either going to be a top for summer or maybe a blanket. I know, I hate blankets, I know. But I think if I made the blanket into like small little granny square or hexes or something, maybe my brain can be tricked into thinking I'm finishing a bunch of projects real quick, which would make me finish it. I don't know. I'm lying to myself. I'm lying to y'all. The next thing I want to work on after this shawl is going to be a garment with stripes. I just love stripy stuff. I don't know why I don't make more. Well, I do know why. Stripes means that you're gonna have to cut the yarn, change the yarn, like a lot of it, and I don't like that. And that's a lot more ends to weave it. So I'm thinking maybe something for summer, something with fingering weight, something that has minimal ends to weave in. That's my biggest thing. I don't want to have to weave in a lot of ends. So we're gonna have to figure something out. I used to test a lot. I haven't done so in a while, so I want to do another pattern test. Like, I'm looking, if you know anybody who's looking for testers for something that I might be interested in, you could look at my patterns and see the kind of things I like making and wearing. I've been wanting to make something for charity for a long time, and I think this year is going to be it. Welcome blanket is something that I've been playing around with for years and years and years, and I've never actually pulled the trigger on it. I want this year to be the year I pull the trigger on that and make a blanket for Welcome Blanket. If you don't know about it, it's essentially this organization that takes blankets from knitters, crocheters, quilters, like sewists, everybody. Like, if you can make a blanket and you send it to them, and as immigrants come into the US, they give them a blanket to welcome them. As I'm a immigrant in some way. Yes, I was born in the US, but I grew up in Haiti. I spent most of my life in Haiti. So to me, it's something that's near and dear. So I want to be able to make something for somebody that's coming here for the first time, to welcome them, to make them feel at home. And the way I think I want to do this is by making the blanket, and I want to do a crochet along with it, where we have a large group of people who make that same blanket, follow the pattern. It's going to be available for free on my blog. And we make it together and we send them a bunch of blankets. I just want them to be overloaded with that blanket, like have a bunch of it so that they can give a bunch of people. Because we are still a country of immigrant. I want that to happen. I really do. So that's going to be one of the top projects for this year for me to try to accomplish. What else? After that, it's a lot of like things that essentially I don't have any choice to make, like fingering weight mini projects. I have a lot of fingering weight yarn, and with me only using yarns from Mass Stash, I'm going to use fingering weight yarns for like a project with minis. I have like at least 50 minis, so that's going to happen. I've been wanting to make a Tunisian crochet vest. I think I'm going to do that towards the end of summer so I can wear it in the fall. I'll keep you posted on that. It's not like guaranteed. It's not something I'm pushing for as far as like as much as the blanket for Welcome Blanket and stuff like that, but it's something I've been wanting to make, so hopefully this year is the year I do. Shoba sent me some knitting needles as soon as I told her I wanted to learn to knit. I'm trying to find good videos where you can teach a crocheter how to knit, because I feel like as a crocheter, learning to knit is very different as somebody who is just new to the fiber community, period. They've never done knitting, they've done crochet and stuff like that. Because for me, it just, the process, I keep wanting to do my crochet versus like, going with two needles. To me, learning from somebody who's done both or who understands the process of doing both, who's learned crochet first and is going into knitting, can give you more tips and tricks. So if you know anybody who has videos like that for people like me, please put them in the comment section, like share them so I can find and be able to follow it. I'm hoping that sometime this month we'll do a video where Elizabeth is learning to knit. It's probably going to be chaotic. But yeah, I want to learn to knit because I think there's so much I can do if I know how to knit, crochet, Tunisian crochet. Can you imagine the projects you can make with that? Like combining all three of them together in one project. Yeah. All right, guys. I think that is it. We are at the end. Like, we spent like quite a while together. I'll probably see you guys in a week or two. I don't have a schedule of when I want to release yet, so keep an eye out. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn your notification on so you can be notified when I post the next video. And we can go from there. Please subscribe to my Patreon. I'm trying to grow that platform so that I can be able to leave Instagram. I want to leave Instagram so bad. So follow me on Instagram still. I get you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on, guys.
Yeah, I know I just said bye. But I want to know, do you guys like this format? Do you guys like us sitting there? I tell you about a book and we crochet together. And we stop from time to time. We go over the stuff I'm working on and my plans and stuff like that. Like, what do you guys think about this format for like a podcast? Let me know. I really want to know. Put it all in the comment and